Metasploit Minute is brought to you by viewers like you. If you get value from this show and can spare even $1, please consider contributing at metasploitminute.com.
Welcome to Metasploit Minute, the breakdown on breaking in. I'm your host, Rob Fuller, but you can call me Moobix. Today we're going to be going over post modules, actually writing post modules.
That is very exciting. Moobix!
Hey, how's it going?
Dude,
welcome to the show.
It's awesome to be here in the Hack5 warehouse. I'm so excited to be doing a new season of Metasploit Minute. Post modules, man. Like, recap for me a little bit, because I know that we've talked about these a bit in the past, but what exactly is a post module?
So a post module is an evolution from scripts, right? So Metasploit had interpreter scripts that were basically lists of commands that you would do in succession, which were powerful, but not really repeatable. So there was no libraries, there's no shared anything of it. So a post module is literally what you're doing after you get something, your shell.
Right, right. So the script, so it's like, I'm in, now I want to have some fun, maybe wreak some havoc, probably not. And now, what's the difference between a script and a post module?
So like I said, the scripts were not very repeatable, right? So it had a bunch of things you wanted to do, but then you'd have to rewrite it in another script. So, and as programmers, we all hate having to do the exact same thing every single time.
It's all about having like the least amount of code reuse.
Right. So what post modules did is it pushed a bunch of things into the libraries, and now you can actually have like write file, and it'll be a write file command will work no matter what kind of interpreter session you have, no matter what kind of system you're on, anything. It's awesome.
Cool. So sounds like scripts are great for little snippets and such, but the post modules are really what you should be using in your post exploitation.
Right. So what I use scripts for is I use scripts quite a bit when I want to start off stuff. So we've shown already with IRB. We've shown in season 4 with how to use IRB. Now, once you're in IRB, you can do a lot of stuff, but you can't really do for loops and ifs and stuff really easily. Like you can, but they're not as easy to understand and repeating that process every time. So I then move from IRB into scripts, and then once I have a script solid, I'm make it into a post module, and that's what we're going to do today.
So what kind of script are we going to be using
so
as an example?
Way back in 2010, I wrote a set wallpaper interpreter script. And the set wallpaper interpreter script was basically a joke, right? So you never really want to use it on a pentest or something like that, unless you're trying to be a little mean or say, hi, I'm here. So what it did was basically it uploaded a bitmap, a BMP file, and then it used a registry key to set the wallpaper, and then used an execution of run DLL32 to actually make it refresh the wallpaper. So the reason why I'm picking this today is because it has all of those steps in it. So we're going to learn how to do that in a post module, since it has registry writes, executions, and also file uploads.
All right, so we should probably go ahead and first test the script. You said it was from 2010, so let's run this 5-year-old script and see how it goes.
Yep. So what I did was I actually took the wallpaper script from the link, and I'll zoom in right here. So here's the wallpaper script. Way back in 2011 is when I actually uploaded it. So I saved it, and let's go over to wallpaper.rb, saved it in Metasploit framework, and that's where I have Metasploit installed, /scripts, /interpreter, /wallpaper.rb, and you can name it whatever you want. The great thing is, like, once it's named, once that file's written, you can just run it. So there's no loading, there's no anything that extra you have to do. It just shows up. So we're going to go over here to a session we already have, sessions-i2. Oops, I'm already in it. That doesn't make any sense to do anything more. So run wallpaper. It should autocomplete here in a second. There it is, wallpaper. So before I do that, I'm going to just make sure that I have everything set in this wallpaper script. So let's go through here. We're going to say, okay, session equals client, and you used to have to do that. Oops, too far. You you used to have to set a client and session to make equal, so you can use the client dot whatever stuff just to make sure that it was cross compatible. And this is long gone. You never have to do this anymore. You just use session for everything.
So that's actually saying what which interpreter session you're talking about?
Right. Yeah, it's just an object. It was referenced weirdly in the past where sometimes it would be client, sometimes it'd be session. Anyways, so our wallpaper is going to be kirby.bmp, and we're going to upload it. It says it's going to be in the file, and this is incorrect because it's not going to be in our data/wallpaper directory. But this is a great way to save this stuff, because this is actually a great way to remember how to get to the Metasploit directory, because you can have Metasploit anywhere on your directory, and using the msfconfig.install root will tell it where to go, so you can actually always know where that is. So this is something that you just want to kind of comment out for now. And I'm going to say kirby.bmp is the wallpaper, and based is in /root. Okay, so that should solve that.
And so we're actually saying it's in /root because that's where you've put it on your Kali
right,
machine.
That's actually where I have it installed.
Okay.
So we're going to go through background color. It's going to set it to black. Refresh command. This is the special refresh command that I found on a Stack Overflow way back in 2010.
And so that just refreshes the desktop?
Yeah, so if you set the registry key, it doesn't really do anything until someone logs out and logs back in.
Oh, okay.
So not as good effect, right?
Yeah.
So this options.
Or actually, in some sense, maybe it is the right effect, depending on the prank.
True.
But, you know,
yeah, the delay might be good, right?
Yeah, when they come back from lunch, log back in. Oh my gosh! No.
So this options stuff was actually added to scripts to kind of get it more up to date, but we don't need that anymore. It was pre-post module. So they were trying to get options into all the scripts. So there's a -h in everything to set stuff, options. So temp directory. So this is kind of cool. So this is actually going to find where %temp is, and that's a Windows environmental variable. And this is actually going to go to the remote host and expand that out to where it actually is. So wherever %temp is, and it could be different.
Well, why would you need to expand out an environment variable if, when you pass this to the Windows system anyway, it's going to enumerate that variable? I mean, that's the whole point of an environment variable, isn't it?
Right, because not always, or in not all circumstances, does the interpreter session know what that is.
Oh, okay.
Right, so you might not have all those variables available to you in the calls that you're making, right? So Meterpreter does a bunch of API-based calling, right? So when it's running in shellcode, so it doesn't always have those variables easily accessible at the high level that it runs at, or the low level it runs at. So it expands that, and I'm going to scroll out so you can actually see all this. It makes a random directory with
with eight
characters, so 16 characters.
16 characters,
right?
Cool.
And then create a temp directory. It actually does the make dir, makes the temp directory. Okay, so that all should work. So this way we're actually uploading our BMP into that temp directory. So it's not just sitting in there in /temp. Okay, so that's fine. Then it says new file, wallpaper, and it's going to name it the exact same as the wallpaper we have there. And then on the fd.write, it's going to read everything from that directory and upload it into the remote host. So this is all the complicated stuff that scripts had to do to get things to work.
So all this is just to upload it into a temporary directory?
Yep, so far.
Okay.
And then we actually write our registry key. So if key, registry, set val, all this stuff is setting a registry key.
Oh, okay, I see. Yeah.
And this, I can't scroll over. Here. So registry string value, wallpaper, sets all that exactly where in temp directory. So these $ brackets, and I'll scroll in so you can see, that means use this variable inside the string. So it's a way to append a variable inside a string in Ruby. I think it's a really cool way to do it.
That's pretty cool.
Okay, and then And then all it does is set the value data to tile the wallpaper, and then runs the command. So when it's done, it actually runs the command that it set up there, channelized and hidden. So it's running the run DLL 32 that refreshes that wallpaper in a hidden command prompt, basically.
Oh, nice. So
that's it.
let's go ahead and so you've already got a session on your target machine here. So, you know, and do you have this script, or do we now have to send this script over to it, or do we just run it locally?
We just run it locally.
Okay.
And it does all the things.
All right, well, as long as the latest version is saved, let's go ahead and run it and see what happens.
But before we do that, let's just stop real quick and say a huge thanks to all of the patrons. We have at patreon.com/Moobix, we have awesome support I forget how many people did it. Like it's a lot.
People are saying, "Hey, we love what you're doing, Moobix. We love the Metasploit Minute. We want to continue to see this happen."
Right.
It's such a awesome, warm, fuzzy feeling to see that people can support this directly and make it happen.
Yeah,
so it's why you're sitting here right now.
Right, and season 5 is completely supported by Patreon.
It's exciting.
Awesome. It's really cool that this is actually happening.
So if people get value from the show and they feel like they want to give back, even just like $1, they can go over to metasploitminute.com, and that will list all of the ways.
Right.
And, you know, we've got cool like other swag and stuff that you can get if you'd like. But also you can just, even for just $1 an episode, just become a patron and help us achieve some of these epic milestones with RSS video feeds and live streaming the show, and even in-house training. Come in here and pre-train.
What do you mean?
In-house
training. We're going to talk about
we'll
that
talk
later,
about that
right?
later. Yeah, okay. So I'm excited to see this run. Let's get Kirby on the desktop.
Okay. Run wallpaper. See if this works. Info read can't find root is a directory. Okay, that's fine. So what's supposed to be at this base directory is actually, you can see that it's joining the data directory with the wallpaper variable. So we can actually just say kirby.bmp here, and it'll work.
There we go.
All right. So we run this again. Now it should work. You can see that it actually created the directory here with random text.
Nice.
Uploading kirby.bmp, and it didn't work.
Why didn't it work?
I don't know. Like, so the problem with the execution of the run DLL 32 was that it's an undocumented API call. So no one actually knows like the functionality behind it. Well, I'm sure people at Microsoft know exactly how it works. But sometimes it doesn't work on RDP, and that's what we're looking at right here. But if we scrolled over to the actual system, that wallpaper would have been updated.
I see. Is there another way to like force it to or something?
We can try logging out and logging back in. And we should have Kirby.
Hey!
There we go.
There we go. All right.
So, so the interesting thing about that is it works perfectly on Windows XP. And I looked so hard. I looked trying to find how to make it so that the update stuff worked. And if you read through the blog post, I actually made comments on how that was a pain in the butt.
And times have changed. I mean, you're talking about this was 2011 on an XP host, and now this is being applied to a Windows 7 machine. So
yeah, and it's RDP actually. That's the difference here, is that the update preferences doesn't work on RDP.
Ah, okay.
So, but let's move this into a post module.
Should we do that right now?
Yeah, let's do that. So, how do you do that?
Well, okay. You explained that the difference between a script and a post module is that a script is just like snippets, right? And it's specific to your engagement or to your target. And a post module is something that can be reused a lot.
Yes.
And it's like built into, like, explain to me more about how it is just built into your shell.
Right, so when we made auxiliary modules, we actually talked about putting it into the .msf4/modules directory, and that's actually what we've already done already. So I don't want to go into that again since we've already done that, but I will say that I took a post module delete users from the, I'll just
take a look.
scroll in here. So this is under modules, post Windows manage delete user.rb. So I just open that up in Sublime, and it's a pretty simple script. Like, this is all there is to it. It just says delete user. And that's the great thing. That's the entire process for that post module. That's it.
Okay.
So that's the great thing about the post modules in general. A library says,
Oh, I see.
does all
So,
this
so
stuff.
you don't have to think about like all of that, all of those lines of code just to upload a file into a temporary directory, and you've got to create the directory and all of that stuff.
Yep.
This is going to simplify the process, as it were.
Yeah, and make it more uniform, right? So I've already taken the delete user script and copied it over to a set wallpaper.rb over in modules, post MSF Minute, set wallpaper. Okay, so that's already there, and I've made a few changes. So the first one is I'm going to include the MSF : post : file. That means that I now have all of the post module library for file-based things, and we'll go into what you get because of that, as well as the Windows registry. And I've made the default changes to wallpaper set for the name, the description, who made it, the platform, and stuff like that. And then finally, I've made a register options. So opt file, or actually it's opt path. Sorry, I believe. And then a BMP, and that's going to be an option that you can set. Now, instead of the script that we had with no options, it's just always that same awesome Kirby photo.
Yes.
But and who would want to change it?
Right.
So, but now you do have that ability to change it. You can make so many different options in this now that it's a module instead of a script.
Oh, okay. So like similar to how with all of the other modules within Metasploit, when I say show options, then I can see like, oh, this is what I can do, and then I set my options all over the thing. So if you didn't want to use Kirby.jpg, which I don't know why you would not want to. It really, we should just bundle the bitmap with the post-exploitation module.
Yeah.
Right. But now it makes it a lot more versatile than a single-use, single target kind of thing.
Exactly. And that's why I go from IRB to script to post module. That way I can then reuse the code very easily, and it becomes more ambidextrous.
Cool. So then after that, that's pretty much it. It looks like. I mean, you register the option.
Right. So I've registered the option, and now I've copied this over just so I know that that's the registry key. I'm going to scroll out of it. So I know that's the registry key I'm going to have to set. So just as a note in there.
Right.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all of the stuff that I had in the script. I'm going to just literally copy and paste it over inside of the run. So it's obviously I want to tab all this over and make it all look all nice.
Sure, we can make it pretty later.
But let's save that and see if it runs. So actually, I'm going to have to get a new shell, and I can do that real quick. And this is the web delivery method that I recommend for anyone doing dev, is because it's just so easy that you can just now have a new session. So I don't have to create a binary.
Oh, I see.
Right, so I'm back in here. I got a session, and I'm going to load path. And we've talked about loading path in the other modules. So root.msf4 modules, and that loaded our one post module. So since it loaded correctly, that means that nothing in our code will mess up so far. Like, we know that the code is up to spec. So we use post, and then we did MSF minute, and for some reason, Windows. Nope. So the thing that I fell into here is that the post modules actually have to have another layer to them, and we're going to just make that real quick. So the actual architecture. So Windows.
Oh, you actually have to, if you don't put it in the appropriate folder, it doesn't load correctly?
Well,
is that what you're saying?
So it loaded, so it should be actually there. Never mind. So use post, and for some reason I'm not for some reason it's not tab completing stuff. So post, MSF minute, set wallpaper. Weird. Oh, opt file's not, yeah, because this is why I thought I changed it to opt path. So let's try again. Yeah, it didn't load. There we go.
All right, so now, just as before, if you say show options, well, if you had some text in there, it would do that. Oh, just like that. There we go.
Right.
All right.
So let's change the wallpaper back. Personalize. Let's get rid of Kirby for now.
Okay.
Okay. So let's change it just to simple pictures. Why not? So we are bright, and so let's set our session. For some reason, my tab completion has gone away. So
I think you're in session 2.
3. So since we're not actually using the bitmap option yet, we don't have to set it.
Right.
It does say required though, because we left this as true.
Right, and you still have just copied and pasted this from the previous script, so
Right.
it's still kind of hard coded, in
Yep.
fact, to Kirby.
Exactly. So what we can do is we can set BMP to
Foo.
root. It is required since we left that in as required, and we're going to change that in a second, but it doesn't really do anything. So we're going to type run, and you can see that it's completed, and then we're just going to refresh, and that still didn't do anything. So let's try and see if this command actually works. So I'm going to copy.
Or are you just going to do this locally?
Yeah, I'm going to see if it works just locally. Yeah, see that command doesn't work on Windows 7 in RDP for some reason.
All right, well, log out, log back in. Let's see if that does the trick.
Yep. Yep. Wrong one. User. And there's Kirby.
Aha!
So
There we go.
we know that our post module works. We know that we've gotten close enough so that we can start making modifications. And it actually changed back for some reason. That's interesting.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So Windows Vista and above used JPEGs and different things. So especially with its rotating stuff. So you can see that I'll zoom in. You can see that it's a slideshow background, right? So that's why it went
So maybe
back.
it's, in the rotation.
Right.
So, but with the right registry value, there's a way to do it.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
So once we're going to actually getting further into this, we're going to actually split this up so that we can get smaller segments. Because I know that all of you have asked for more minute-friendly Metasploit minutes.
Yes.
So what we're going to do is we're going to stop here because it actually works.
Right.
And we're going to say that next time we're going to show up and start minimizing this, using those libraries, mastering the
This
awesomeness.
code down to an awesome little Kirby wallpaper nugget that you could also use for other wallpapers if you don't want my cat on your victim's screens.
Don't understand why.
But otherwise, yeah, that sounds rad. And
And we actually have a treat next time because we have a trick that we're going to use that it's going to make it update even in RDP.
I like tricks. I like tricks. I like, I like all of the Metasploit minutes. In fact, I feel like all of these were winners. And I do want to again remind you that if you want to become one of the people that are supporting these awesome Metasploit minutes, as they were, you can go over to metasploitminute.com as well as patreon.com/Mubix.
Yep.
Yes.
MUBIX.
MUBIX. Awesome. Well, thank you again, Rob. This is very exciting stuff. Again, a huge thanks to everybody. Every dollar counts towards getting you here, making more shows.
Yeah.
It's so great. I know that you will also be here very soon.
Yeah.
Because we're doing some exciting stuff in this here warehouse.
Really?
Yes.
What are we doing, Darren?
Well, we're doing a little bit of pen testing with Hack5.
Pen testing with Hack5.
If you like pen testing, if you like Hack5, if you want to come down and get yourself this awesome bag of all of the fine gear that you'll find
Wait, I
from
get
Hack
swag?
5. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. You're teaching one of the courses. It's so great. That's right. Training over at Hack 5. You can find all of the details at hack5.org/training. I'm just kind of throwing this out here right now because it's very early bird special right now as our very first course, and we're super excited to teach things like Metasploit, Wi-Fi Pineapple, social engineering with USB Rubber Ducky, so some other fun things in the works that we can talk about in later shows. But yes.
Yeah. Do we have any idea how much that's going to cost?
It's going to be very introductory, specially priced for the first one.
Okay,
so everybody wants to get in on it right now.
So not very many seats.
Not very many seats. No.
Okay.
Yes. So we just thought we would let you guys know because.
Shh, don't tell anyone.
Yeah, just keep it between us at the minute. The minutes.
The minutes.
Minutes.
Multiple minutes.
Yes, speaking of that, Metasploitminute.com is where you can find all of the shows. And again, thank you for your support.
So, until next time, I'm Mubix, and I'll be hacking till the cows come home.